Professor Rajeev Gowdas. 2 minutes.
How many minutes, sir?
2 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Sir, in that case, I will focus entirely on solutions. So, our challenge is to face the cost of democracy. It costs money to be a politician, to run a political party, and to run political campaigns. And our electoral process that deals with this aspect is fundamentally flawed. How do we fix this? That is my focus. On the expenditure side, sir, the issue of electoral expenditure caps is something that is really hypocritical. Every party, every candidate spends much more than what is actually allowed. And former Prime Minister Vajpayee said that every politician starts his career with a lie because he submits a fudged account to the Election Commission. This is not the way we need to build a democracy. The important thing is to either make those caps realistic or to ensure that caps are removed. Why? Because this will ensure that all expenditures become transparent. Under the current system, expenditure is driven underground that rewards those people with black money and the ability and the networks to spend. And that has resulted in the criminalization of politics and all the other kinds of negative outcomes that we've already seen. On the other side, how do we raise funds? One of the solutions that has been proposed is public funding, state funding of elections. Let me suggest how that should be done. But before that, I want to address an objection that is often raised. People say there's so much expenditure already, why should the taxpayer also pay for it? The basic point, sir, is that some candidates spend a lot of money. And I'm suggesting that we should get rid of that cap even. But to be a competitive candidate, you only need to spend a certain threshold of expenditure. There is some minimum level of expense involved in being a competitive candidate. You don't have to spend as much as the other. And so that amount needs to be available to every single citizen of this country, and that is possible through state funding. That state funding, sir, it can be worked out in a couple of ways. The justification, of course, is we need a cleaner polity, and that is a public good, and public goods are usually financed, like national defense, through taxes. We don't have a great culture of individual contributions to political parties or to candidates like other countries do. So when you look at state funding, there are two ways you can do that, sir. You can create a national election fund. It's not going to cost very much, and you have enough resources in this growing economy to be able to allocate resources to clean up the system. One part of this, maybe half of it, can be allocated to political parties for the historical performance. You give each party 100 rupees per vote that they have gained, and let this be allocated to the district or constituency level party office for use in the next 5 years for political activity. This has been proposed by others as well. The second part, sir, is to give individual candidates and political parties an opportunity to raise money through small contributions from large numbers of people, and for this amount to be used to match that. This encourages grassroots democracy and ensures, again, transparent, open funding. So these are ways in which you can take electoral reforms forward in a constructive manner. And the last point, electoral bonds have proven to be a farce, and they are counterproductive to democracy on the grounds of lack of transparency, and they don't allow us to understand who is giving money and what they're getting in return. That needs to be abolished right away. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rajivji. Very constructive.